A Ford Model T converted into a mobile sandwich restaurant, Washington, 1918. The first known mobile sandwich shop was built by a traveling salesman in 1918 who modified a Model T to serve hot lunches on the go, predating modern food trucks by nearly a century. A German cavalryman watches a biplane fly overhead, 1910. During World War I, some cavalry units used airplanes for reconnaissance, blurring the line between traditional cavalry and early aerial warfare. A gigantic man in a New York tavern, 1908. The man was known for having the largest hands ever recorded, with a grip strength that could crush objects, making him a local legend in New York's early 20th century tavern culture. A First Nations couple, 1886. The couple's traditional attire included moccasins made from a single piece of softened animal hide, a craft passed down through generations that symbolized unity and spiritual connection. Coca-Cola bottle design from 1899 to 1986. The distinctive Spencerian script used on Coca-Cola bottles was designed by Frank Robinson, who also created the brand's iconic logo, and he believed the flowing script had a secret, almost hypnotic effect. Confederate and Union soldiers shaking hands at a Battle of Gettysburg reunion, 1913. The first documented instance of soldiers from opposing sides shaking hands after a battle occurred at Gettysburg in 1913, symbolizing reconciliation nearly 50 years after the Civil War ended. Contestants in the Old Fiddlers Contest in Fort Worth, 1901. The oldest surviving fiddle contest footage from 1901 features participants performing with instruments that are over 150 years old, showcasing the longevity of handcrafted American and European violins. Crown Prince Wilhelm of Germany inspecting troops, circa 1915. Crown Prince Wilhelm was an avid photographer and took numerous candid photos of military life, some of which provide rare insight into the German army's daily routines during World War I. 1906. Fishing boat New England covered in ice, British Columbia, Canada. The New England fishing boat was built with a unique reinforced ice-breaking bow to navigate thick ice conditions in northern waters. 1906, noted botanist Alice Eastwood inspects the clearly visible fault fissure left behind near Olema, California, after the 1906 earthquake rattled the San Andreas Fault. Alice Eastwood was also an avid mountain climber who mapped several California plant species from high elevations, often while ascending remote peaks. Ironmongers in Maidenhead, Berkshire around 1900. Ironmongers in Maidenhead once traded in a rare type of Windsor iron, a locally produced alloy so unique that it was used exclusively for Royal Armoury repairs. First black South African Olympians, Len Tonyani left and Jan Mashiani right, raced barefoot in 1904 Olympics. Despite challenges, Tonyani led until chased by wild dogs, finishing 9th and 12th. Two kids watched their reflection in the water of the park in front of the Mission of Guadalupe around 1907. The Mission of Guadalupe was originally built as a small chapel in 1709, later expanded into a larger church, and was once used as a military hospital during the Mexican Revolution. 7 young boys and 1 donkey, 1870. The donkey was often used as a form of transportation for the boys, and in some regions donkeys like this were called burros, a Spanish word meaning donkeys, which became popular in English-speaking areas. A color photo of Bob Hope from the 1940s. Hope was born in 1903 and already in his 40s here. Bob Hope once performed for troops in a helicopter during World War II, becoming one of the few entertainers to do so, and he even brought along his golf clubs for morale-boosting games. California hunter and trapper Seth Kinman sitting in a chair made out of a grizzly bear that he gave to President Andrew Johnson in 1865. Seth Kinman was known for creating elaborate, functional furniture from animal hides and bones, including a chair made from the hide of a mountain lion, which he gifted to President Abraham Lincoln. A souped-up skiff carrying booze from rum runners back to shore, circa 1922. The rum runner in question was none other than Bill McCoy, who supplied booze from international waters and whose product was known as the Real McCoys. Bill McCoy's boats were often equipped with secret compartments called safe houses to hide and store large quantities of illicit liquor during Prohibition. A studio portrait of Hattie Tom, a young Chiricahua Apache woman, Photographed at the U.S. Indian Congress of the Trans-Mississippi and International Exposition in Omaha, 1898. Hattie Tom was known for her skill in traditional Apache beadwork, which she used not only for adornment but also to preserve and pass down her cultural stories through intricate patterns. A young Virginia Woolf and her sister Vanessa Bell playing cricket, 1894. Virginia Woolf's family had a private cricket pitch on their estate where she and her sister Vanessa often played, making it one of the earliest known instances of women engaging in organized cricket in England. Albert Einstein, in a traditional headdress, at the Grand Canyon with a local tribe in 1922. Einstein's traditional headdress was a Navajo-style war bonnet, which he reportedly wore as a gesture of respect and admiration for the tribe's culture during his visit. Annie Edson Taylor poses with her cat and the barrel she rode over Niagara Falls in 1901. Annie Edson Taylor's cat was reportedly a stray she found near her home, and she kept it as a companion during her daring Niagara Falls stunt, believing the cat's presence brought her good luck. April 19, 1912. After the Titanic disaster, a U.S. Senate committee at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City questions Bruce Ismay, the managing director of the White Star Line. Bruce Ismay was one of the first to board a lifeboat, and he later claimed he did so to help women and children, but some witnesses accused him of abandoning ship prematurely. Archaeologists inside the tomb of Pharaoh Ramses XI in 1923. The tomb of Ramses XI was originally intended for a different pharaoh, but it was repurposed after his death, making it unusually small and unfinished compared to other New Kingdom tombs. Arnold Rothstein, a legendary New York gambler, amassed a $50 million fortune, often through fixing events like the 1919 World Series. Known as the Brain, his luck ran out on this day in 1928 when he was fatally shot over a poker debt dispute. Despite his criminal reputation, Arnold Rothstein was an early advocate for organized crime's involvement in professional boxing, helping to fix matches and manipulate outcomes in the 1920s. Arthur Clarence Pillsbury on the hood of a Studebaker 6 about a foot away from the edge at Glacier Point in Yosemite in 1916. 13 others on the precipice can be seen near the vehicle. Arthur Clarence Pillsbury pioneered early aerial photography techniques using kites and balloons, significantly advancing the documentation of natural landscapes like Yosemite before modern drones existed. Arthur Saxon, aka A. Hennig, lifting 334 lbs with one hand and making cover of the magazine Health and Strength in the 16th of July of 1910. Arthur Saxon was known for performing one-handed lifts with a twisted grip, which he believed increased strength and grip endurance beyond conventional methods. Banana Docks, New York, 1906. The banana docks in New York were originally built as a ferry terminal for banana shipments, but by 1906 they primarily served as a hub for fruit importers and were known for their vibrant, bustling atmosphere. Building the hand and torch of the Statue of Liberty, Paris, 1876. The copper used for the Statue of Liberty's hand and torch was recycled from old cannons seized during the American Revolutionary War. Cheyenne Dog Soldier, Black Wolf, 1921. He was known for crafting intricate beadwork that often included symbols representing his clan and spiritual beliefs, a tradition passed down through generations of his family. Contemplating mischief in Ontario, Canada, 1900. The person in the photo was likely involved in early 20th century Ontario's secret underground societies, which operated covertly to influence local politics and social customs during that era. Edvard Munch, self-portrait in a psychiatric clinic, Copenhagen, Denmark. During his time in the psychiatric clinic, Munch was influenced by his own mental health struggles, which deeply informed his iconic expressionist style and the haunting emotional intensity of his artworks. Federal and Confederate Civil War veterans shake hands on the 50th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg in 1913. The handshake was part of a broader movement called the Reunion of the Blue and Gray, where thousands of veterans sought reconciliation, and some carried personal tokens like bullets or buttons to symbolize their shared sacrifice. Chipping Norton, England, 1910. The G.O.E. Herbert Tea and Dining Rooms was one of the first establishments in Chipping Norton to serve afternoon tea, a tradition that was just beginning to gain popularity in England during 1910. General William T. Sherman on horseback at fortifications near Atlanta in 1864. Sherman's horse was named Cincinnati, and he often rode it into battle, making it one of the few horses to be officially documented as a military mascot during the Civil War. Girl with a Goat, Benton County, Arkansas, 1901. The girl's goat was likely part of a local milk or dairy trade, as goats were commonly kept for milk production in rural Arkansas during that era, often earning small households extra income. Hattie the Mad Hatter Matters in 1883. Hattie the Mad Hatter Matters was known to craft elaborate miniature tea sets from discarded bones and shell fragments, showcasing her unique obsession with macabre art. Hearses lined up on Halifax Wharf transferring RMS Titanic victims recovered by CS Minia, 6 May 1912. The CS Minia was originally a passenger steamer built in 1899, later converted into a cable-laying ship, and played a crucial role in retrieving Titanic victims from the ocean floor. Inside of the Miller and Shoemaker Soda Fountain Shop, Kansas, 1899. The Miller and Shoemaker soda fountain was among the first to use electric refrigeration, revolutionizing the way sodas were kept cold and making the shop a local pioneer in modern beverage technology. Irish revolutionary leader Michael Collins giving a speech in Dublin, 1922. He was assassinated on this day in 1922, aged 31. Michael Collins once secretly smuggled a message in a loaf of bread to evade British surveillance.